You ever just look back at something you did and you think, wow, I was really actually so dumb? Yeah, well, same. By the age 20, I realized life is not what I thought it was. I learned some things the hard way. I had some major wake-up calls. And honestly, these life lessons, I wish someone had told me sooner. So if you're under 20, go ahead and get that notebook ready because you're about to jot down some really good life lesson notes. And if you're over 20, go ahead and comment what you learned the hard way in your 20s. Some of these things are things that no one talks about, some of these things are hard truths, and some of these things will actually save you unnecessary stress. And let's be real, we've all made dumb and stupid mistakes. But the good news is, you're not going to have to learn it the hard way like I did. You're going to go ahead and sit down and watch this video and take some notes for your future. Oh, and if you like videos that are real, relatable, and sometimes the honest truth, go ahead and like that like button so YouTube could go ahead and show you more content like this. Alright, so let's get into it. We're going to go ahead and go into lesson number 1. I did go ahead and jot these down for you guys. So lesson number 1. Not everyone is your friend. And that is something we really have to remember. There have been so many times where you trust someone, you want them to be your friend, you want them to accept you. However, that's not always the case. Some of them just may be there just to be there. Some of them just want to be like a part of what you're doing. There's always going to be fake friends. We have to accept that. We have to know that not everyone's going to be our real friend. You will know who a real friend is once you feel like they're your best friend, once you feel like you could tell them everything. If you can't tell them everything yet, they're not for you. Just find someone that you really, really feel that you could tell everything to. And always remember, even if they're clapping for you, that doesn't exactly mean they want to see you win. That just means they're doing what others are doing. They're clapping because that's what the rest of the people are doing. But that doesn't actually mean they want to see you win. Number 2, family is everything. And I'm going to say that again. Family is everything. If you have a dynamic of a family that doesn't get along, or your family just isn't the family that you want and you wish you had, that's okay. We could always pick certain family members that we could go ahead and still do family traditions with. We could still go out as a family, talk about our family experiences, our childhood, but you always want to have something from your family or a member from your family so that you could reflect on your childhood, you could learn from your childhood, and you could just, you guys don't have to be a huge family gathering. You could go out with that individual person, like go to brunch, or the next one you guys gonna go take your kids to go play. It doesn't have to be a huge family gathering, especially because not all family goes, like, let's be true, not all of our family members all get along, but you want family to be there on your special moments. You want them to see what you've achieved. They know the hard path you grew up in. So make sure to always have your family involved. Even if it's hard, you guys may seem distant. I'm a little distant with my family because I'm just busy. I got things I have to do. But I still try to make time for each family member by themselves. Number 3, boundaries are necessary. You could learn to say no. No is such a powerful word, but we don't all feel comfortable to be able to use it. And then you want to cut off the toxic people. You know who's toxic, why are you still with them? That's only going to bring toxicness to you. You could cut them off, you could still be acquaintances, however you want to cut them off, because you don't need that in your life. And then you want to make sure that you are prioritizing yourself, because you run your life. You know your experience. You know the emotions you've gone through. So make sure you are being friendly to yourself. Not just to others, but be friendly to yourself. You need to know that you've done this, you've gone through all this. You need that manicure. You need that pedicure. You need to go get your hair done. You need to feel good. So make sure we are always, and I know I struggle with this too, but I've learned, once we get our nails done, once we get our hair done, once we do this and that, we feel good. We feel confident. We want to get the day going. So make sure we put time in for us. Number 4, mistakes are lessons. That doesn't mean that we actually failed. Let me give an example. When I had a friendship and that friendship failed, it wasn't a mistake. I learned from it. I learned what type of friends that I wanted to hang out with. I learned who I wanted myself to be associated with. I learned from that experience. Now, when I look and find my friends, I'm finding better friends. I'm making sure that they don't have the same traits that that one person had. So make sure that we know, just because we made a mistake, that does not mean that we failed. Always remember, there are so much successful people out in this world who have failed themselves. You're going to keep failing and failing until you get it better. Same for YouTube right now. When I'm filming, I may have forgot to put the SD card in. Okay, next time I'm going to remember to do that so that it doesn't happen again. I didn't edit this right. I didn't save it, so it deleted. Now I have to redo the video. There's things that we're gonna fail until we learn and we get it right. So make sure we learn from our mistakes, but we don't want to let the same mistake happen over and over again. Number 5, your mental health matters. This is such a topic that is ignored, especially from me in my teens. We just want to be there. We want to be around the people. We want to have fun. But always, when it's time for a break, we need to take a break. If you just want to sit home, lay down, watch Netflix, watch TV, do anything, listen to your mind. You don't want to go, instead of wanting to be laying down in your bed, to just go to this party just because you need to be there or just because you want to have fun. If you know that you need time and you just need time to yourself, do that. There's always going to be more parties. There's always going to be another gathering. You don't want to show up to the party and not be yourself and not be happy and be overwhelmed and look like you don't want to be there. So if you know that you need to stay home or you need to stay to yourself, just stay home. Do that. And again, we always need to you could get therapy. You could learn ways to get out negative things out of your life. Like meditation. I've tried meditation, however, I'm not good. I haven't accomplished it, so that's not for me, but I do want to get into that a little more, but it has been hard for me. But I'm making these mistakes because I can't block things out of my mind. But yes, we need time to ourselves. And let me give you an example. When I went through postpartum depression, I didn't know I was going through that. I did not know that I was feeling this way. I noticed I never had my phone in my hand anymore. I noticed I was not myself. When my husband was talking to me, I would ignore him. When my kids wanted their mom, I didn't feel like I was their mom. But I was just on go. I was going to school. I was cooking. I was being a wife. I was being a mom. I didn't have time for myself. I didn't listen to my body. I didn't listen to my body that I need to stay, that I need to calm down, that I need to slow down. Everything could wait, but when your mental health is not good, it's just going to make life a little harder. Number 6, social media is not real. We have to understand, people post the most beautiful and easiest moments in their life, but they won't show you the hard moments that they're going through, the reality that we're all going through. That is actually one of the reasons why I actually started this YouTube channel, because I want people to relate, to see the struggles we go through as humans, to see how we're able to adapt to all the different situations. It's really easy to compare yourself to an influencer or to a celebrity. It's just so easy. You want to do this change because everyone else is doing it. Let's do an example. BBLs were the biggest trending thing that everyone was getting. Now all of a sudden, you're noticing everyone's reducing their BBL. No one wants a BBL anymore. They want to be like a normal skinny girl. It's like a skinny girl era that's happening. We can't compare ourselves to social media because it's just a trend. The trends are going to stay and then they're going to come back. They're going to stay, they're going to come back. So don't do permanent decisions on your body. Don't feel like you need to do these permanent decisions just because everyone else is getting them. Everyone else is getting them maybe because that's their insecurity and they want to fix it. That's good. We want to fix our insecurities as well. However, we don't want to compare ourselves to others because God made us in such different ways. He made us unique in different ways. He gave us different things, different traits, different characteristics. And especially He gave us different characteristics of our religions, and we just need to find those ways to be able to embrace who we are. We want to embrace the person that He made us, or He made you in that case. Number 7, money management is a life skill. You need to be able to know how to manage your money to be able to be more successful. When I was from 15 years old all the way to 18, I was working. I didn't have kids. I didn't have bills. The only bills I had to do were probably my DMV registration. I had my mom's car, so I didn't have a car payment. I just paid insurance and then, of course, gas. And then whatever I wanted to bless myself with on the side. I worked and worked and worked and worked to be able to save up to go to college. I knew I wanted to go to this exact college. I knew I wanted to stay in the dorm. I had the prices written on my wall. I knew what I was saving up for. I got an app that would help me manage my savings, what this part of the portion of the money is and what this one goes to. Save up. And you also want to get into learning how to build up your credit score. So, for instance, for me, I grew up in a family that has bad credit, or they didn't know how to manage their credit, or they would get themselves into debt, which is normal. Debt is normal. Everyone gets into it. But for me, I have one credit card. I use that credit card just for gas. Gas, nothing else. I'm not going to use it for something else. If I want to buy this thing on Amazon, I'm not going to buy it because I don't have the money to buy it yet. If you can't buy, okay, think of it like this. If you can't buy something in the full price, you can't afford it. For example, if I want to go get a car, let's say the car is $5,000, but they're going to give it to me in payments. Have the mentality of, do I have $5,000? If I do, then yes, I could get it in payments. But you don't want to get something because yes, that's how you get a car, that's how you build credit. But if you have a different mentality and a different mindset, you don't want to go getting all these things because you could do payments. You want to do it because you could afford it. So make sure you get the right credit cards. Like for me, I would love a credit card to Victoria's Secret. But every time I walk into Pink, every time I walk into Victoria's Secret, I go crazy. So why would I get myself that credit card if I know I'm going to be spending on it? I'm going to be spending the money that I don't have. I'm going to be spending the money that I have saved up. And then I have to pay it off and pay it off and pay it off. And then if I miss a payment, I'm going to get these fees. If I'm going to do credit cards very, very wisely. Very, very wisely. Because the credit score is what's going to get you things in your future. Number 8. Confidence is a choice. We're not going to wake up in the morning and feel so confident just because we're here. We have to build up our confidence little by little. Little by little. We're not just going to gain all this confidence, it's not just going to be thrown at us. We have to build it up, build character, and we need to show the actions that we're building it. We can't just think, she's so confident, I want to be like that. She's so this, I want to be like her. You want to be yourself. When you're ready to be confident, when you feel good in something that makes you very insecure, you want to make sure that you're yourself. Something that has been making me a little more confident now that I'm growing up is I'm learning to get out of my comfort zones. When we get out of our comfort zones, we could tend to find new things. We could feel more confident about newer things. But we need to get out of them to be able to experience the world, experience more people. Something I grew up with just because I've seen so much, I wouldn't say bad, I'd just say toxic relationships, toxic friendships, toxic siblings in my family history, my family everything. I've seen those growing up. I've seen what the different relationships look like. I've always had this huge shield above me because I don't want what they have. I see how bad it is. I see they need to leave this relationship. I see they need to leave it behind. But they don't. They're sitting there, they're still friends, they're still this, they're still that. So I made the shield, and I'm like, you're not going to get through unless I let you through, unless I'm giving you my emotions, I'm expressing everything to you. But I have it up, and it's getting thinner as I'm getting older. I'm letting more people talk to me, I'm letting more people into my life. But I've had that shield so thick that it's getting thinner as I'm getting older because I'm getting out of my comfort zone. I'm not scared to be around other people. I'm learning new people. I'm learning new energy. And I just want to find the right people for me. Sitting in my house with my kids, with my husband, I'm not going to be able to find those people out there. I need to find them for me. Number 9, healing isn't linear. And what I mean by this is whenever you're healing from a certain situation or from something that occurred in your life, it's not going to be a straight line. You're not going to go directly down this road and just start healing. You're going to go through a zigzag. You're going to have one good day, and then the next day is going to be bad. We need to take time. Let our body heal. We can't just assume that everything's going to happen accordingly. No, our body, our mind, it takes time for us to be able to heal. We need to let our body go through these emotions so that we could be stronger, we could get through the trauma. We don't want to just sweep it under the carpet. We need to let ourselves heal. You need to let yourself heal, just like I did. Number 10, relationships should add, not drain. So what I mean by this is a big one. When you're in a relationship or a friendship or any ship, you need to see those red flags. If you see a red flag, okay, you saw one. We're just getting to know this person. We're gonna kind of let it go, but we're not gonna forget it, okay? We're not gonna forget that red flag. If you have to pop it in your notes in your phone, put it in their contact notes, do it. Remember it. But once we see the second red flag and it's something completely different, now we're going to get a little distant, okay? We're not going to associate with that person that much. We're going to be acquaintances, but they're not the person for us. And then once you're seeing all the red flags that they have to give you, cut that person off. We don't need the negativity. We don't need that toxic person in our life. They're not the person for you. You're going to find someone better. You don't want to waste your time or the limited life that we have just to be with this person, even though we don't feel content. We don't feel their presence. We don't feel like they like us or they love us how we want to be felt. Just cut them off. We want good relationships. And I know that's so hard. Because yes, it's hard for someone just to be like, cut off your 5-year relationship just because you've gone through all these red flags. You've had these ups and these downs. Yes, we're going to learn from the ups and the downs. We're going to be like, okay, we're going to communicate. Yes, I don't like when you do this. Fix it. If they don't fix it, move on. Don't waste your time. And I'm going to say that again. Do not waste your time on a toxic friendship, toxic relationship, or just a relationship that doesn't make you feel happy. When you're with that certain person, when they're your person, when they are a part of your life and they're in your inner circle, you want to be with them and just feel so happy. Forget about all the emotions, all the stress you have on your body. You just want to let loose with that person. So find that person. Find them. Number 11, you can't please everyone. No matter what you do, someone's always going to have an opinion about you. You could try your hardest to let them accept you. You could try your hardest to let them love you and let them see what you're capable of. But they're always going to judge. They're always going to have that opinion. So don't try to be a people pleaser. Being a people pleaser is a toxic trait. And you don't want to do that. Because if someone just doesn't like you, they're just not going to like you for who you are. So that's something we do have to accept. And make sure you prioritize your happiness over other people's judgment. Because that is something we need to do, especially in 2025. Number 12, opportunities don't just come. You have to create them. We can't just sit around and be like, oh, when it comes, it comes. No, you're gonna get up, you're gonna make it happen so that it comes to you faster. Yes, we need to read the rooms, see what's for us, experience what's for us, but when you're just sitting there waiting for an opportunity to come, it's not going to happen. We need to be able to create it. We have to make sure to take action so that our opportunities and the doors that we want to open. Number 13, be kind, but don't be a doormat. You don't want to be a doormat where people wipe their feet before they walk in, where they leave it wet, dirty, dust. You don't want that. You don't want people to take advantage of your kindness. Yes, we need to be kind to everyone. We don't know their situations. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know their struggles. But we still need to be kind. Just saying hi, giving a compliment to someone when you see them at the grocery store, even though you don't know them. That's going to make their day. That's going to make them feel confident. That's going to make them feel happy. Even if they're just finished crying in their car. Even if they fell on their way into the store. Even if they lost something very valuable. You taking the time, just a second, to tell them such a compliment, they're going to feel that. They're going to be like, I am that person. I am Maria. That's how I felt. You need to know that we could be kind, but we don't want people to take our kindness for granted, because you don't want to be so kind to someone that makes you so miserable, and every time you're trying to be kind to them, they're just trying to bring you down. They just show their negative energy. I've had a friend like that. You try your hardest to be kind. You try your hardest to be able to show them that you're there for them. You try your hardest because you want them to love you. You want this friendship to work. You want that. No. She didn't care. She didn't care that I was giving her these opportunities. She didn't care that I was trying to show her the right path to life. She didn't care I was trying to let it known that she's valuable in this world. She didn't care. What can I do about that? I can't do anything. She was just letting me, I wouldn't say she was letting me. Every time I was trying to give her advice or I was trying to give her something, she didn't care. She moved on to the next topic, changed the subject. So find your right people. Number 14. Self-love is more than just sitting in a bubble bath. We need to show discipline. We need to show ourselves that we want that certain thing. We need to wake up and know exactly what we're heading for, exactly what kind of day we're going to have. We need to be able to give that to ourselves so that we could love ourselves. Number 16. Time is valuable. We don't want to waste our time on a situation and stress over it for months. We don't want to do that. We don't want to waste our time or a relationship. We don't want to give all our love and all this and all that to just one person, even though we know they're not for us. We need to be able to know that time's valuable. We don't want to spend our time on things that are unnecessary or that don't bring us happiness or don't have a reason to be in our lives. So make sure we know time is very valuable. One day you're a baby. Or think about it, if you have kids, you guys probably don't have kids, but if you do have kids, I had my baby gonna be 2 years ago. It feels like yesterday. It literally does. I feel like I was in that hospital bed about to give labor. Or about to give birth. That did not make sense. But time is literally valuable. It feels like a couple months ago I was living at home. No, it's been 3 years that I haven't been home. And every time I go in my house, it doesn't feel like home anymore. Like, my younger sister has my room. What used to be my room. So, just take it in all the emotions. Family gatherings, everything. You want to receive your love from everyone. Just know, time is very valuable. Number 17. You are not behind. You're not behind in life because you're not supposed to compare yourself to someone's life that had an easy upbringing, or compare yourself to someone that had a very different life situation, or they're going in a different path than you. We don't want to compare ourselves to what other people have done or have already succeeded. We're all going to reach our milestones, but we're all going to reach our milestones in different times, just as babies. When babies are growing up, one baby might be crawling at 3 months, while the next baby's going to start crawling at 9 months. There is an average pace, but that's just the average. Some of the people who hit their milestones lower or more behind, I would say, they would probably be on top of the average person. Don't compare yourself. Just because you feel behind, that doesn't mean you're behind. It's just not your time to be in that milestone. You know your path and you know how to express your path. Number 18, good things take time. We need to have patience. You're now going to be becoming an adult, and things need to be patient. For example, you put in that application to get an apartment. The waiting list might be 2 years. But if we're patient and we don't go to, let me give you a scenario. Let's say I applied to this apartment complex right here with the green plants, but they haven't accepted me because their waiting list is 2 years. Then my head, since I wasn't being patient, I'm going to go apply to the more modern apartment over here because they're accepting. They already have open apartments. This one's cheaper, but this one's more expensive. So I'm going to start living here. I just signed a lease for 12 months. That's a whole year. And then after 3 months of living here, they call me. They said, hey, we have an apartment, but you can't break your lease up over here because then you have to pay all those fees. So now you have to live here where you can't really afford it because it's expensive. You could have had more opportunities over here because you're saving more money, but since we weren't patient, we decided to live here. Now we have to live here for 12 months, and this apartment is no longer going to go to us. So we're probably going to get off the waiting list because we already have somewhere to live. Be patient. I don't know if you understood that scenario, but be patient. Not everything's gonna take time. It's gonna have processes. Everything needs processing. Be patient. Be patient. Even if you have little patience and you're not a patient person, that was me, not have so much patience, but it's gonna come. It's gonna come. You're gonna see once you're patient, good things are gonna happen. Number 19, your past does not define you. People could change, people could grow, and people could rewrite their story. Just because yesterday I was at the grocery store and I was super mad at the cashier, I was giving them attitude, that doesn't mean tomorrow I'm gonna be the same person. I grew from that experience. I figured it out. I wasn't such a mean person that day. What was happening yesterday that made me act like that made me act towards an innocent person that's just trying to do their job? So we have to make sure to understand, just because something or a mistake happened, that does not mean that's going to define us. It's not going to define who we are. It's not going to define our personality. It's not going to define anything. We're going to grow from each and every mistake, and we're going to go ahead and rewrite the story. We're going to erase it with our pencil. It's going to still be there. You could still see the little marks on the paper, but it's not going to be a reason to sit there and be bold and dark and define who we are, if that makes sense. Number 20, everything works out in the end. Something that we need to remember is that life has this precious way of making sure to align everything so that it's ready for when we are. We need to know patience is key. We can't just speed things up. We want things to be aligned. We want things to come to us when we're ready. We don't want these surprises. We want to be able to build up the courage and to build up the confidence to be ready when something is coming towards us, when we know that thing's coming toward us. And just because I just gave you these 20 life lessons that I learned the hard way, doesn't mean we need to grow up fast, because that's something that happened to me. In the situation where my household when I was younger, I needed to grow up fast, embrace your teenage years, embrace your early 20s, embrace transitioning into an adult. But always remember to keep all these lessons in mind, because you will need them, and it's going to show a different way. You're going to see the world in a different aspect now that you know what's to come, how to grow, and how you could be a better person. Alright, thank you guys so much, and I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it brought inspiration and different ways you could view the world just out of my experiences that I've gone through so far. Let me know how you really liked this video in the comments down below, and make sure you go ahead and you like and you comment and you subscribe, and then also make sure to turn on those post notifications on if you want to see more of my face. But then again, thank you guys so much for watching this YouTube video, and I hope you guys have a nice day.